Means if you created one component, you added a routing, everything you done. So that will come under the normal loading. Okay. But if suppose you want some component to call only when we are requesting that one. Okay. So that comes under the lazy loading. So for configuring the lazy loading and for configuring the normal loading, there are major difference between both. So normal configuration in the sense we already doing all the things. Just 1 second. So here you can see that here when we clicked on the movie list, it's showing here lazy loading admin module something it's showing. But what about the others? Others is that normal loading. Okay. So just now go to the code side. So how we are configuring, just only one line is enough for the lazy loading, nothing is there. So how we have to create that component? More generally, what we are doing when we are creating the component and module. So this is your module. Okay. Your module, and inside module we created different component. This is component 1, this become component 2, this become component 3. And what we had suggested during a starting time to do like this type, create one module and inside that you can pass multiple component. Correct. So this become component 1, this become your component 2, this become your component 3. See, please take care seriously. Okay, this is important topic, and in interview they are asking a lot. So this become module. Inside that we are writing, means we are creating multiple component. This is one page. What is second page? Second page, just we will create one component, another component, another component. We will get the output. Here also we can do component A. This is your component B. This is your component number C. What will happen actually when you will for the configuring of this component, means this one where we are passing, on which module we are passing this component name while configuring time. When we are generating component, on which page you will get these all list, means you will add this all inside app module. Correct or not? We are passing inside app module. Actually we are not doing, because when we are running the command, automatic it going to update. So we all getting update of this normal whatever we are creating the component on the app module. But suppose that now what is the issue? So just imagine you have one website, and on that website there is one section of registration, there is one section of login, and there is one section of the dashboard. This is your dashboard. And this is your login. Okay. And this become your registration. Now think about the problem. Then only you will get the solution. So now we have 3 component. Okay, 3 page. Login, registration, dashboard. Same time, means when we had run the application, that time what happened? This all pages will get loaded. All page will get loaded. Means now we have just 3. Tomorrow we have 300 number of component. What will happen? Our application will get slow anyway, because the number of component getting increased. Now the problem is that user had visited your website. Okay, user had visited your website. He visited the dashboard. He visited your dashboard section. He not gone to your login. Okay, he not open the login page, and he even not log into your registration page. Now tell me, if user is not loading, means user is not opening this both pages, is this both page useful for the user right now? If user is not visiting that page, it means that that page is useful for the user or not?
Not useful.
It's common, it's not useful, but yeah, for the later point, the same page may be useful for the some other user. Means some A person came and it had visited your website, it gone to dashboard part only. It not gone to login and registration. Means login and registration page is not useful for that user. But some other person came, he visited all the 3 pages. It means the 3 pages, all the 3 pages are useful for the other person. Now, the first person who had visited just a dashboard, for that user, this both pages, it's useless. Correct? Now just imagine for loading this complete 3 page, okay, if this taking 1 minute, just imagine if it taken 1 minute of the time, and after loading this all pages in 1 minute, user had visited just only one page and this taking only few seconds. Okay, just imagine 5 seconds. That's it. Now just think one point. If why not, if user is not visiting this both page and it taking combinedly, it taking 1 minute of that time, in place of 1 minute, why not we can give that this page only to the user? Because anyway user had not 2 pages, then why we loaded that 2 page? Because already it's taking too much time. 1 minute time it's taking, it will take the internet also, means many things we are spending. But in place of that, why not we can give that this page to the user only? And if user want login page, registration page or other page, that time we can give. Means lazy loading concept came here. So lazy loading, what it telling, just only one line of definition: on demand page will load. Means when you requesting, that time page will load. If you not requesting, page will not load. In the sense, I will load just only one page or any page, we will load by default starting time. If user is requesting login page, suppose user requested login page, means he will get the login. If he requesting registration page, that time only he will get the registration page. If he not requesting registration page, he will not get this. Means page, that's fine. Component itself, it will not load. Clear? This component itself will not load. Means if suppose user not want this login component, we will not load this component. If user not want registration, we will not load this one. User want just a dashboard, we will give that dashboard. That's it. Even user not want this one, we will not load this also. Means as per demand of the user, we will provide that. Now think about the benefit. Previously, if we loading this all 3 component, we was taking 1 minute of the time. Correct? But what is the requirement? Just only one component, and that was taking just 5 seconds. Means just imagine now 55 seconds is best for the user. Correct? Because his output came in the 5 second only. Then why we had wasted this 55 second? So in this situation, what we have to do? We have to configure that routing in the lazy loading with a lazy loading concept. So what we are doing in the normal means now what we was doing, we was loading our component. Correct? We was loading our individual component, or even when we are configuring module also, means module wise, suppose module is there and one component 2 3, then also we was loading normal itself. What is that normal loading will know? Means what a normal loading will known as, that we will see. But we was loading normally itself, even you wrapping in the module. So, and where we are configuring, we was passing this module or these all component where, any idea, anyone having? If you configured all module, all component, you had configured all component in one module, or even if you have separate component, where we was passing all everywhere, where we was passing in which module?
App.
App
Correct.
module.
So we was passing in the app module, because app module is the root module. And in this module itself, from the app module itself, our config means our application starting means our application get started from the app module. Be configuring everything in the app module. So what we will do now, we will not configure in the app module. Means if you have to configure with the lazy loading, so you will not configure that in the app module. Means suppose this module we want with the lazy loading, means we will not configure in the app module. Up to here, is it clear why we want lazy loading? So where we are configuring right now and where we will not configure. So what is the requirement actually? That is the main point. So in interview, they are asking the questions, how you will improve the performance of the website. So first performance means first way, add pagination. You will get only 5 record, 10 record at a time. You can move next. This will increase the performance because only 5 record came. Whether last record get loaded or not, it's not going to create the problem because user is visiting the first page. It's not going in the last page. In means for going the last page, sure it will take at least 30 seconds, 40 seconds, at least 1 minute. So within 1 minute, sure my last record will get loaded. User not going to visit that. But with the help of pagination, we can load the page, means we can improve the performance of the website. Second thing, with the help of lazy loading, we can improve the performance. You had seen here that when the user means when the page is loading for the file, means when the page taking 50 means 1 minute, in place of 1 minute, user wants just one page, which will take only 5 seconds. Then why we will waste 55 seconds for the user? So by that also we can improve the performance. And when the user will request that for that particular page, we will load that time because during that time our application will also get loaded. Because during a starting time, when you running the application, initial page itself, your image will get loaded, css have to load, javascript have to load, means all the content have to load. So why you increasing the burden of the burden on the application? Got it? So that's why we implementing the lazy loading. So when you working on the real time application, you have to configure all modules with the lazy loading. Means maximum 95% you have to configure with the lazy loading itself because it will increase the performance. That's why. Clear up to here? So now we will configure the lazy loading. Now see. So how we will configure that lazy loading? So whatever component actually, and one thing you take care, lazy loading is not working on the component. Lazy loading will work on the module. Okay. Lazy loading working on the module side, not the component side. So first you have to create the module. Inside that module, whatever component you want to load, means whatever component you want to configure the lazy loaded, you can put all the component in module, that module. So just to go through the document, after that we will move here. So see, what is an Angular module? Means normal module. So an Angular module, ng module, is a container for a set of related component. Whatever component is there, whatever services, directives, pipe, which these all things we are passing in the Angular module. Means module, whether it is app module or any other module, that's not the matter, but module is the main thing. So which combine with the other such module to create an application. So an Angular application has one root module, that is app module, bring modules we are creating. Suppose a login module, registration module, these all are different modules. These are known as the feature module, and those we are wrapping where in the app module. So in larger application, it is known to be best practice to break down the features into their own module. Whatever feature module you are creating, feature module in the sense, whatever component you are creating, break down separate module. Okay, create their own module. Otherwise, just imagine one thing. Suppose you have total 500 component, okay, and you not created any module, just app module. Just imagine this is your app module. How many line of code will be there? Total 500 component. In the sense 500 line of code will be there for component.
Yes, sir.
It means 500 import statement will be there. After that 500 declaration will be also there. Now just imagine as per when you will increase the number of the content in your page, it means it going to slow down your website. And second thing, handling of the application. So when you will write like that, it will be complicated to handle that application also. So in place of that, what we are doing, we have to break into many module, separate module. So let's see how we are breaking that. So suppose this is your app module. Okay, app module. So here this is the main module. Create one separate module. Suppose we have 3 module. This is your login module. Registration module. Dashboard module. Fine. So 3 module total we have. Login, registration, dashboard. Now some component will be also there. So create the component. Suppose this login module have 2 component, 1 component and 2 component. This registration module have 3 component. So this become 1, this become 2, this become 3, and this having only 1 component. This is the component. I will write just component. So these are all of the component list. Means now what we have to do, we have to, if suppose this module is not there, what we will do? How we will bind that component and where? Tell me. Where we will bind that
App module.
App module.
Inside app module. So we will wrap this all in the app module. Correct? Any doubt? Anyone having? We are wrapping this one inside the app module. But this is the demerit. Never do this activity. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to wrap the inside their separate module. Means whatever component is there, whatever component is there, wrap inside the separate module like this. Got it? Whatever component wrap inside the separate module. These all separate module will known as the feature module. Okay. Now what we will do? App module. Now take this module here. Clear? Anyway, what you had done, finally you linked this component with the module, but not direct, indirectly. Clear or not? This we have to do. What is the benefit actually when you're doing like this? So suppose for right now, what we are doing, we broken all the component, means we broken all the component and module separate. We wrapped all the component in separate module, and then separate module be the part of the app module. Like this type, we make the hierarchy. Suppose this becomes the normal loading itself. Now come to the topic bit. So we have to break that into separate module. There are 3 types of loading. One is eager loading, second is lazy loading. Only loadings are there. In interview, they are asking lazy loading. Okay, and lazy loading is the main actually. This both will be not there will be much difference, just normal minor difference are there. But keep in mind, total three loadings are there. Next, so module loading. So first, eager loading, preloading, that's okay. Eager loading. So is that default? Whatever loading is performing now without doing anything, whatever we are getting, that is coming with the help of the eager loading itself. That is comes under
Means
that
normal loading.
Yeah, correct. Means by default. you're not going to configure, you have no any idea regarding the loading. That time application is loading, that comes under the eager loading. Means is the default loading strategy in the Angular application. By default, we are getting the eager loading. So keep in mind, in interview, they may be asked which loading will be performed by default. Okay, so that is eager loading. So in eager loading, all the feature modules are loaded before the application start along with the root module. Now, this is the main key point. So what is telling? So in the eager loading, what it will do, whatever module you have, modules, component, CSS, JS, whatever it's have, everything will get loaded before the application get start. Means when you're doing the ng serve, that moment itself, all will get ng compile, and after that, when you're hitting the command, means URL localhost 4200, before the loading application, means when before the coming of the page, your data, before that itself, it will load all the things. That's why in the network tab, what you will get, that multiple data will load. Even the page will not come there, but you will get the data in the network tab. Go to the home. See that. When we loading, see how this came. Localhost, bootstrap, then jQuery, popper, vendor, main, everything came. Okay, this all came due to loading of that application itself. So same thing we are discussing here, that it will load all the module, whatever files are there, everything will get loaded. So the application time means the load time will be slow. When you have a small size application, it will be okay. Using the eager loading is considered because the total size will not be the large. But to load a feature module eagerly, you need to import that module in the application module, app module, using import metadata of the ng module decorator. Means indirectly we are doing that activity already. What it's telling, you have to import all the module, whatever module you have to load, you have to import that in the app module and be doing the same process by default. Okay, so this become the problem. When a module is loaded eagerly, it load all the imported module, components, services, pipelines, etc. everything. So here we had seen that feature module, app module, main module. Okay, here we have one parent module, a student module, teacher, admin module, 4 module. Each have three component. So these all three components are known as the, all three component, not module. All three module or 4 modules, they will consider as the feature module.
Features
In the
modules.
feature, yeah, in the feature module, we are dividing application into multiple module. Whatever we discussed still, we know already everything, but actually we have not idea what that known as. So now we have discussed what is that. Indirectly we were doing the same task, but we have not the idea what is that one. Clear? Second is the preloading. So preloading actually nobody will ask. Okay, but keep in mind, feature module, whatever we are doing, feature module can be loaded in the background asynchronously just after the application started. When the application is starting, your all the module, all component, everything will get loaded. This method is known as the preloading. Means when just before loading of the application, means when the initialization get starting, this all loading process get started. Before that initial state is still known as the preloading. Means there will be not more changes, just minor difference in that preloading concept. So here feature loading just after the application is started. You can see, take care the word, just after the application get started, and this method is known as the preloading. Next, when the application get hit, app module and feature module which has been imported by it will be loaded eagerly, and after that module configured for the preloading will be loaded asynchronously. Means if we want to configure any module as preloading, we can do that, and we can configure, we can load that also. So how to do that? With the help of the preloading strategy, we have to add this one, but nobody is means mostly we had not seen still that in any application that we are loading preloading strategy. We are checking just lazy loading. We are doing that thing. Okay, so now go with the lazy loading. So in lazy loading, what we have to do, and why we was telling to create app that component by separate module, you will see the benefit because you had imported the same module here. You had imported same module. So we will use that import statement itself and we will use in our lazy loading concept. So what methods or technique we have to use in our website quickly? One of the technique is the lazy loading. It has the effect of the speeding up operation of a website. It allow you to specify which part of a website should be loaded at startup. Means when we configuring lazy loading, we can tell that application which module you have to load first. Like suppose here we have three module: login, registration, dashboard. We can tell that which part you have to load first. Like in the routing also we can do same thing, but according to that it will improve the performance, speed of the websites. So what is lazy loading? So lazy loading is known as the on-demand loading. In the other loading technique, the module will get loaded on application startup. Okay, but in lazy loading, module will only load when it get called or requested by the user. Got it? This is the definition. You can note down this one. That's it. So how the user will request? So suppose that here you can see there is navigation bar. So with the help of navigation bar, user can request that particular module. So user click on the login button. Suppose a login button means login, registration, three different are there. So user will click on the login button, then only the login module will get called. Due to this, application will not load all the module during the application startup. So application will fast. So what we will do actually now, see. Suppose that there is a button. One is home, one is login, and one is registration. What we are doing recently means now we are configuring the route, correct? We are configuring the route on home. We are configuring route on the login. We will configure the route on the registration. So when we will click the home, suppose that. So what will happen? It will go to app module. It will go to the dashboard and it will load the component. Correct or not? This is the process is going on.
Yes, sir.
Suppose same type, if we go on to the login, if we will click the login button, it will go to the our app module. It will go to the dash means sorry. Then it will go to the login and then it will load the login component means login component, whichever page we will requested. So this process is happening now. But when you have to do lazy loading side, so you will not do like this. You have to disconnect this. Whatever connection is there, you have to remove this. Means you will not import any of the module in your app module. First thing, clear? If you configuring the lazy loading, why? Because whatever module you passing inside the app side, app module, it will load at the starting time itself. But we not want to load starting time. We want to load on demand. On demand in the sense, previously when application was started, that time itself this app module get loaded and the component module, whatever is there, is all getting loaded. And on the button click, be requesting in the app, then it going here or otherwise here. Means it is dividing each area, but we not want that one. We want on demand. So disconnect that connection first. Disconnect this one. Means we will remove from the app module. Means we not have to import inside the app module. So if we will not import, then where we will import that. So we have to import means we will click that home, suppose that we click the button home. So in the route section itself, you have to add that, means this module will come to the route section. Okay, and in this module, when suppose that we clicked login, we clicked login. So what will happen? Login module will get loaded, and whatever component is there in this, it will get loaded. Means you have to make just only one change. What is that change? You have to make all the component inside the one module. You have to configure all the component inside the module. After that, that module you not have to import in the app module. You have to call that module in your routing. Got it? This thing. So let's move to the practical side. And for configuring, you have to use the load children property. So see here. This is your route. Okay, wait. That will not there. Okay, let it to be. So come to the application itself. App routing, remove the search, open lazy loading. I had created inside the lazy loading folder actually. You not have to do that. Yeah. So see, inside a lazy loading, whatever component is there. So one is the dashboard component, one is movie data, one is movie list, one is write, one is user. And what is the module name? That is admin module.ts. Means our module is this one. And inside this module, see here, inside this module, whatever component I want, I had imported here, like dashboard, user, rights, whatever. Means whatever you seeing here inside the lazy loading folder, I had kept inside this module. Now verify this component in the app module, because it should be available there. So let's verify whether you getting here or not. So where is that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So let's verify dashboard component. Go to your app module, search. Not getting, because what I told, disconnect from the app module. Whatever component you want to load a lazy loading, means whatever component you want to configure lazy loading, disconnect that from the app module. That should not be the part of the app module. So we had to remove that. So where that will be? That will be part of our module. See that these all component part of the our module, means you can tell this section. Means this section, whatever component, it is the part of our module, not a app module. After that, what we have to do? We have to configure the route actually on that module. So this we will see later, not an issue. After that, go to the, so module created, component created. After that, whatever data you have to do all the things. Second thing, now go to the routing side, routing module. And here you have to do the configuration. Here you have to do the main thing. So how we are configuring the route? How we are configuring the route? So be taking here path. Generally, not in the route side, means a lazy loading. Generally, I telling why this giving error. Okay, comma is there. Okay, so be given the path. So here we have to pass the path. So LZ by lazy load. Anything we will pass the path. After that, we have to pass the component. Correct? We passing generally this thing. Component colon or any component name. So just to take any component, router parameter or whatever. So what is the problem? Oh, comma. So we will pass that. What is telling? Type path component type of param is not assignable to type route. Oh, sorry. Let us say. Yeah. So now we pass the component and our component name. By this way, we generally configuring the route. But for lazy loading, we will not configure like this type. We have to configure with the help of the load children. Means we will remove this come 8. See, take care. After Angular 8, we have to configure like this type. Before Angular 8, we was configuring something different. That also I will tell. So load children, after that you have to give that. So complete sentence, maybe you will get in the net also. You not have to regard, say learn these all things. But anyway, if you want, you can keep in mind. So after that, we will pass the colon, then we have to give the parenthesis, arrow function, this thing. This single statement, so it's not an issue. Now, what we are doing, this is the main thing, important thing. So here we going to write the import statement, and what it will do, it will wait. Import. Here we will import complete module. Which module we was passing in the Angular side, means in the app module, that module we have to import here. So we will do one thing actually. Wait. This is load children. I will remove and I will take from here. Okay, so here we will take that complete module. So let's say go one by one. So lazy loading, then go back. Suppose admin module, yeah. So admin module, then pass inside. Anything is there? Yeah. Okay. So admin module, and here we are passing the class of the module. Means which class? Admin module is there. So what is the name of the class? This admin module, as like we are doing already in the import section. In the declaration we was writing. So here we have to write the class name. So automatic you will get the suggestion. You can take that. So what we are doing in interview, they are asking how we are configuring. So we can tell that we are importing complete module class, means complete module we have to import in our routing section. Okay, so we imported complete routing here, means sorry, complete module here in our routing. And so what will happen actually when you will press this one? Let's say remove this because already we had imported on the top. So here when you will press admin, okay, what will happen? It will load the admin, and in the admin we return the load children, and then we are importing this module. So what will happen? It will go to the module page. But now the problem is that when we loading this module, inside this module, we have multiple component. Like you can see, dashboard is there, movie data, movie list, rights, users. These all are our component. How we will configure this component? Because in the routing, we had not done. We had written just only one line, but we have multiple component and we have to load that also. But suppose that the same thing we have to do in a normal loading, eager loading, you can tell. So how we was doing? So we was doing like this, correct or not? In the route section, we have to configure that each one separate. But now in the case of that lazy loading, we will not configure like this type because we imported the main thing, means we imported the module one. So after the import of the module statement, what we will do? We will configure the route, remaining route for each component on their module itself. So how
It
we are
means
configuring?
admin module.
Yeah, on admin module itself, because we imported the admin itself here. So we will configure the route on admin page itself. So how we will configure? So for routing configuration, you require two things. So remove this app module, because on app module, we're not going to import anything. Let's just check that app, that admin module, whether admin module is available here or not. So I think it will be not. ADMIN, let's verify. So we're not getting the admin module. Why we not getting? Because if we will load admin module, it become the eager loading. App means because app
It will
module will
become
get
default.
load. Yeah, it become default because app module.ts will load, app admin module will be there, it will get automatic load. So we will not link up anything in the module. we will directly pass in the routing side. Means in the route, we will import that complete module. And after that module, what we have to do? We have to configure the route. How we will configure route? As usual, normally what we are doing means in the routing configuration, like we will take that path and whatever data you want to load. But now we will do one thing here. I'm not thinking that I have to tell this thing, but you have to make one thing clear. When you will add a routing configuration on your app module.ts file, so you have to import that time something, because on a app module.ts you will not get that one. Which one? Router module and this thing. So you not have to do anything, just a copy paste the code. From here you will get this const routes is there, so you copy and paste on the app module, sorry, in admin module. And whatever import statement is missing, you can import that one. Means you can copy directly from there also, it's fine. Okay, now why we configuring this thing separate? That is the main point. So see what we will do. First I will remove this and we will go one by one, that one. Okay, so now if we will go to admin side, you can see what is the problem. So in the lazy loading, just we have to do only one point, that's it. Yeah, so now what we getting here? We getting movie list. Just click this movie list. Actually, this, sorry, not this one. Where is that? Yeah, movie list itself. So movie list is our lazy loaded. How we are telling that that is lazy loaded? See, in the network tab, you will get that data. Here you getting that lazy loading admin module in the bottom. This is our lazy loaded. Here you will not get. Yeah, here it's showing bit. This will come only on our demand, because we are requesting, then only it will come. Let's verify whether we getting on demand or directly. So now our application get loaded. Now check whether we got the admin or not, or what we got. So we getting favicon, then info, something is there. No, main.js, vendor, style, then polyfill, run, bootstrap, min.js, bootstrap, jQuery, localhost, 4200. That's fine. It get loaded. Oh, that time we had called. Wait. Click on home. Yeah. Now come to dashboard. Now come to movie list. Some error is there, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, due to that small bracket. We have to configure that. Oh, we had used this one, that's why. Okay, fine. So let's configure that route. Let it to be. So now just imagine regarding the configuration side, go to the app routing module.ts. On this page, what will happen? It will load this module. Just imagine when you loading this module. Now go to the admin module. Now just tell me by default which component will load here. Had we configured any component for by default load? When
No,
we
we
will
didn't
request
configure.
app module, we not configured any route, that empty route, we not configured anything. So first we will configure the empty route. Okay, we will go one by one. So empty route be taken, and on empty route, I want some component to load. So what we will do? We will write component colon dashboard. dashboard component. Fine. So now let's see whether it's working fine or not. So now let's see. Yeah. So now go to the network tab. Where is the network tab? Yeah. Now delete this data. Go to other component. Dashboard became on dashboard. Be getting lazy loading component. I think it clicking here. Click on movie list. What we got? 1 second. What we had configured on empty route, we configured dashboard component. Okay. Yeah, fine. So when we will click this dashboard, means empty route, we will get, I think, some console error. Where is that error is coming? Admin / dashboard. 1 second. Let me take this completely. Otherwise, just consider. Okay, be passing the data, I think, from the routing itself like that. Yeah, got it. Now it will work. Yeah, it worked. Now go to network tab. Now see. So now see, when we requested this movie list component, means our route is like that. So see here, on empty path means when the data will load on empty path, be not passing any of the component, be not loading any of the component. So when empty path will come, then inside the children something is there. So on path dashboard is there. So when the dashboard will come, that time only this dashboard component will load. When writes will come, then only the write will load. Means on demand, when the user will request for particular data, means particular component, that time only it will get loaded. And then in the movie list, suppose you have to pass the data dynamically from the route parameter. Just do normally whatever we are doing. Means just only one process we had done. From the app module, we taken the module area, we passed inside the routing side. That's it. Nothing extra we had done. And those all routing we had configured in the where? In the particular module. That section only. Otherwise, if we will pass all component in the app all module or component inside the app module, it become the normal loading. So in place of normal loading, we moved with the lazy loading, and that we had done. And main thing is the this line of the code. That's it. Clear? If you will request that one particular that route, it will get loaded. Means it will increase the performance of the application. So this way we can configure that. Let's go to the document. So lazy loading, why we are going? User clicked on the login button, then only that module will get called. Means when user will click on movie list, suppose that. So when user will click movie list, where is that movie list? Go to the route side. Where is the routing? Yeah. It. Go to navigation area. Yeah. So see that movie list. What is their URL? Admin / movie list. So it will go to the admin part, and then it will search for the movie list. Means this type we can configure the route. Here path we had given admin. So it will search for the admin. It will search for the admin. And after that, which component it will load? So there is no component, there is module. So it will load this complete module. So it will go to the app module, means admin module. And in admin module, again it will search for the route. So again admin module will come, and on empty path, which module I want? So check that URL side. So admin / movie list means it's searching for the movie list. So there is the movie list. So that's why this component will get loaded. Second time, suppose we clicked on any movie, what will happen? again, when we clicked on movie, it will again create the route admin first because we will go to the admin, then only we will call this component, this module completely. Means again, it will come to the admin module, correct? And then it will search for the dynamic route. Dynamic route in the sense a dotted colon title, and then it will load this component. Means we make changes in the app module and we passed all the module section inside this one. Now, if we wanted to configure multiple module, how we can do? Just a simple copy this, paste, and this become maybe suppose your another module, not admin module. If you have any another module, you can pass there. Suppose that I have ABC module. So you can pass that ABC module and again change the route. Suppose this is PERSON, person. So on the person, what you will get? Your this module will get called. And in this module, again, you will configure the route. Means on empty path, which will be configured. On empty path, you will pass the children and again you will load the data. Like this type, we have to configure. Means as much module is there, you have to do all the section like this type. Means when you're designing any application now onwards, go with the lazy loading. Don't go normal loading. Okay. So this type we can pass multiple loading. So now go to the document. So here we created that module, lazy loading one. Oh, let it to be previous itself. Okay. Second, how to configure the lazy loading module? We already seen that. We have to configure with the path and the module, whatever module you have to pass. So now, if you are using Angular 7 or lower version, then the following syntax will make changes. The load children accept the value as a string. So what we have to do before Angular 7 path we have to pass, and in the load children we will not write like arrow function and whatever we was passing. We have to pass like this type /admin, whatever we will pass has admin module. But we are all are doing Angular 8 plus, so we not have to worry regarding that. So maybe in future, if you working in any company and they provided you project which is below of Angular 8, means Angular 4, Angular 2, something. So that time lazy loading will be work in this type, not like whatever we are passing. So you can get in the net. Means suppose if you have the issue, how we have to write, you can search in Google that lazy loading in Angular 7 or Angular 6, whatever below, you will get the idea. You can copy paste there. So we have to create one module, and inside that module we will create 3 component. It is not compulsory create 3 component. We can create any number of component. Means just for the examples which we had, means how we can configure that we had shown here. Then admin modules are there. Then already everything is there. That's it. Just example. This is sample example. Anyone have any doubt? Tell me in the lazy loading, because this is most important topic during interview time also, plus when you working on project. Main thing I will tell project side, because it going to increase the performance. So when you doing any type of application, do in the separate module. Call with the lazy loading. Don't call normally. Otherwise, slowly, more number of component, more number of module will going to add in your project. It will be lengthy. It become the problem. Okay. Okay. Anyone having any issue? Tell me. We will stop recording.